Good morning, seventh graders. Hope you had a great Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully you have some Khan Academy under your belt this week. Today we're going to move on to 10.2. We're going to talk about experimental probability. And as soon as my mouse will click here. This is just yet another way of estimating probability of an event. Okay, so the experimental probability of the event is found by comparing the number of times an event occurs to the total number of trials. The more, and this is like about sample space, and the more info you have, the more accurate your estimate is going to be. So therefore, the more trials you have, also the more accurate your estimate is going to be. So experimental probability is about the number of times the event occurs divided by the total number of trials. Okay, so we're going to take a look at our first example. During skating practice, Sasha landed 7 out of 12 jumps. What is the experimental probability that she will land her next jump? All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take the number of times something occurred over the number of trials. So landing her jump was the event that occurred, and she did 12 jumps. So we're going to just simply put 7 over 12. Okay, so the experimental probability that Sasha will land her next jump is 7/12. Okay, I know it's kind of weird to look at it as a fraction. A lot of times you look at it as a percent. So 7 out of 12, if you were to calculate that, is about 58%. So you would, if you want to think of it in terms of percentages, she has a 58% likelihood that she will land her next jump. Sorry, Barney's excited about math. I don't know if you guys hear him in the background. Oh, Barney. Okay, so the probability of an event is going to represent the event that will occur. And so, for example, if we're talking about flipping a coin and we wanted to know how likely we're going to land on heads, we would say the probability of heads. That's just terminology that I wanted to throw in there. Okay, so next, during basketball practice, Martha made 9 out of her 10 free throws. That is amazing. That's like Mark Price territory, if you know who Mark Price is. What is the experimental probability that she'll make her next attempt? 90%, because we're going to do 9 out of 10, right? She made 9 out of her 10 free throws. If you change that to a percent, it's 90%. That's a real easy one to change to a percent, right? So she's a pretty solid free throw shooter. So the other team does not want to foul her. Okay. This is a little bit more complicated. Slightly, not really, just bigger numbers. Students have checked out 55 books from the library. Of these, 32 books are fiction. What is the experimental probability that the next book checked out will be fiction? So 32 out of the 55 books so far have been fiction. So again, you're going to put 32 over 55. And your experimental probability that the next book is going to be fiction is 32/55. Now that's weird to say. Would you say 32/55 in real life? Probably not. But if you calculate that to a percent, that's about 58%. Okay. Now, what is the experimental probability that the next book checked out will be nonfiction? So if 32 of those books were fiction, you're going to use the complement. The nonfiction amount, okay, is whatever's kind of, quote, left over. So if you subtract 32/55 on both sides, you get 23/55. Another way you can do this without the formula, first of all, the formula is good to know because like I said in the previous video, when you get older, the stats and probability goes like crazy off the charts. So this is one of the formulas that you use, but it's way more complex than this. Anyhow, it's good to know the formula. But if you didn't use the formula, you can think of, if I have 55 books checked out, 32 of them were fiction. The remaining books are how many? 23. So that's another way to find this, 23 out of 55. and that would be about 42%. Okay. All right, next, students have a fruit choice for lunch of an apple or a pear. So far, 18 of the 47 students have selected a pear. So what is the experimental probability that the fruit's going to be a pear? The next one, the next person in line, okay, it's going to be 18/47. And again, that's kind of a weird number to say. You wouldn't say to the lunch lady, you wouldn't say to Mrs. Zab or Mrs. Mullet, hey, can I bet 18/47 that the next student's going to pick a pear. No, you would say 38%. There's a 38% chance that the next student's going to pick a pear. Now we can look at the complement and look at what are the chances of getting an apple. Again, you can use this complement formula, or you can really say, well, what do I have left over? I have 29 fruit option, 25 kids left over and they picked an apple. So again, 29/47, and that's about 62% roughly. So 62% chance that the next person's going to pick an apple. All right, that's really it. It's very simple. I don't want to say simple, but it's very straightforward. It's a lot of common sense. It's a lot of more of what we did yesterday, or I should say Monday. And you're going to have some more homework. Next week, towards the end, we're going to put everything we learn about probability together and do a little mini project for our homework. So something I would normally try to do in the classroom, but not going to be able to obviously this year. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know. Put your homework answers on a Google form as usual that I provide for you, and you should be all set. All right, have a great day.